Good morning, good morning. So this Walk With Me Wednesday, I am sending a recording today. We're using a recording mainly because I needed to get to work a little bit earlier today. So, going in earlier, and I'm sending love for a beautiful day. It's cold again here on the East Coast, but it is beautiful still. And I have a lot going on, but a lot of exciting things. So I wanted to come on today to continue the ongoing conversation that I've been having. Good morning. Around grading, right? And why grading as a system means more to us and to our students than we often even give the time to think about. So, for one thing, we know that grading itself is not the problem. It's usually the system that's behind it that is the issue, right? It's the system that we often, as teachers, as educators, have inherited. It's a system that we were basically raised on in our school systems. And so we tend to continue that. We think it was good enough. We also know that we operate within a system that has certain expectations around grades. But it's not only an expectation, it's also to a large degree misinformation, right? Because when we think about it, we are expecting our grades to mean one thing. In actuality, it means something else. So I wanted to spend some time just talking about that. I usually take notes and have my notes with me. So one point that I do want to make is the fact that I know as teachers, we are trying to be fair. We want to be fair. We want our grades to truly reflect understanding and knowledge. But for some, we also believe that our grades should be factoring in something more, something along the lines of, were they prepared for the day? Did they engage and participate? But here's the thing. When we allow our grades to measure something else, something more than true knowledge and understanding, then what we've done is we've now created unnecessary barriers for some students, because we're now saying if your circumstances do not enable you to show up in a particular way, you either have to be strong enough to shake it off, which I remember many years ago, back in the day, I was guilty of saying that directly to some students. Jeez. I apologize if you were one of them. It's not right. Right? So we're either requiring them to shake it off and show up in a particular way, which, by the way, when their age or their years of development, their prefrontal lobes probably cannot easily shake it off. So we're either asking them to do that, or we're telling them that, well, not or, it's and. We're telling them that their particular circumstances really don't matter to us. That we care more about putting this number in our book which we will then interpret as true knowledge and understanding. So, I also think about how our grades impact a student in their learning journey. So while we're still saying that we think that the grades are a true reflection of student learning and understanding, at the same time, often our grades actually punish early situations where students are not necessarily grasping the material. So we're not allowing for growth, right? So that journey to gaining expertise actually suffers. If we look at experts, if we look at people who value the journey, we know that iteration matters. We know that making mistakes along the way matter and are valuable. We know that as scientists, we test and then refine. So then the question becomes, how do we build grading systems that actually support that type of learning? And it's not as hard as one may think. And so that's exactly what I want us to explore. I want us to do during the virtual session that I am hosting actually this Saturday from 9 to 1. And what we're doing is we are spending some time interrogating our current grading systems, identifying then some of the strategies that we can use to make shifts, and they don't have to be drastic shifts in order to bring about some real change in students' lives. You will have an opportunity to experiment with a great gem that I created the other day and use AI as a tool to help us improve equitable grading practices within our classrooms. And you get to join a community of educators trying and working through some of the same challenges that you are when it comes to grading. So that's March 21st from 9 to 1 EST. I will be sure to add the registration link for you. And I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for walking with me this Wednesday, even though it's not asynchronous, although it is not synchronous, and it is an asynchronous walk. Thank you for joining me in that. I truly appreciate it. All right. Have an amazing day. Bye.